Bruce is the epitome of a loser, constantly complaining about how unfairly God treats him. Suddenly, one day, God descends to entrust him with his duties, turning an ordinary man into God himself. Just the thought of it is thrilling, isn't it? Bruce works as a minor reporter at a TV station, an extremely average middle-aged man who for years has only managed to cover trivial local news, with his bosses never considering promoting him. To his colleagues, he's nothing more than a joke. Thankfully, he has a considerate and beautiful girlfriend, Grace. Even though Bruce's career is going nowhere and he spends his days filled with complaints, Grace is content with their comfortable life and looks forward to marrying Bruce soon. Another day begins with complaints. Heading to work feels burdensome, and turning on the TV only to see his favorite team lose worsens his mood. His pet dog has urinated on the sofa, and he encounters a massive traffic jam on his way to work. By the time he arrives, the morning meeting is almost over, and the boss has chosen another colleague's content over Bruce's scheduled segment. Seeing his dream of becoming a leading anchor drifting further away, he sincerely begs his boss for one last chance. Bruce gets an opportunity to do a live broadcast for the first time, and he's thrilled about it, praying for everything to go smoothly. However, a breaking news segment interrupts, announcing that the colleague who replaced the retired senior has become the station's official star anchor, even mocking Bruce as a weirdo in the report. This completely shatters Bruce's composure, leading him to curse on live TV, sabotaging his career with his reckless actions.
Eroding beneath me.
As expected, Bruce is fired. As he's about to leave, he sees a group of thugs bullying a homeless man by the entrance. He tries to reason with them, advising against picking on the defenseless, but ends up getting beaten up. Returning home, Bruce goes into full complaint mode, cursing God in various ways, questioning why he's always so unlucky. Grace tries to calm Bruce down, assuring him that things will get better if he just takes it easy. However, Bruce is unusually irate, gets into a huge argument with Grace, and storms out to clear his head. Not long after driving away, he gets into a car accident, steps out of the car furiously cursing, proclaiming that God can't hear him at all. That's when his pager goes off, but he doesn't recognize the number and ignores it. Bruce is awoken by his pager, and in frustration, he throws it out of the window. Despite being smashed to pieces and run over by a car, the pager continues to ring insistently. Driven by curiosity, Bruce calls the number and is offered a job, a timely opportunity given his recent unemployment. He quickly notes down the address and heads there in his damaged car from the previous night, only to step into a puddle as soon as he exits the vehicle. Could anyone be unluckier than him? Upon arriving, he finds the office completely empty, resembling a shell company with nothing inside except a janitor mopping the floor. When he finds the boss, it turns out to be the same janitor, indicating that he's the only person in the entire company, with only a filing cabinet present. The boss claims the cabinet contains all of Bruce's complaints against God. The janitor reveals himself as God, proposing to hand over the management of Earth to Bruce for a while as he needs a vacation. Faced with such an absurd claim, Bruce assumes he's encountered a lunatic and makes a quick exit. While at a fast food restaurant, Bruce accidentally discovers he has the ability to move objects with his mind, initially believing it to be a hallucination. To test his sanity, he uses his newfound powers to split a bowl of tomato soup in half. God reappears, takes Bruce for a walk, and lays down 2 rules: he can't tell anyone he's God, and he can't control people's free will. After the conversation, God goes on vacation, leaving Earth in Bruce's hands. With God's powers, Bruce starts to become reckless.
And he saw that it was good.
Bruce encounters the thugs from before and decides to teach them a lesson. As they prepare to beat him up again, Bruce magically produces a monkey from one thug's behind and spews bees from his mouth, scaring the thugs off. However, with the monkey now without a home, Bruce sends it back from where it came. Bruce returns home and creates a romantic atmosphere for Grace by clearing the clouds, bringing the moon closer, and lighting up the sky with stars, creating a mesmerizing scene that enchants Grace, and they spend a romantic night together. Bruce sets out to reclaim his job, turning his old car into an eye-catching sports car. Using his powers, he creates numerous sensational stories, from discovering bodies to meteorite impacts, always being the first on the scene. Bruce quickly becomes a highly influential media figure. Bruce doesn't forget to seek revenge on his colleague who mocked him. During the colleague's live broadcast, Bruce uses his powers to cause mischief once again.
Other news. My apologies.
Bruce's colleague gets suspended. To celebrate his new position as a star anchor, Bruce decides to dine at a fancy restaurant. Grace, however, mistakes this for a proposal setup and prepares herself to say, "I do," only to find out that Bruce is merely celebrating his career success. It's a tragically awkward moment. Seeking solitude amidst the overwhelming prayers he hears, Bruce finds himself atop Mount Everest. God reminds him that since he's taken on the job, he must attend to it properly. He's advised not just to fulfill his own desires, but to listen and fulfill the prayers of others. Bruce confidently claims he can make everyone happy. Back at home, Bruce organizes the prayers of humanity in a file system, filling his room with cabinets and sticky notes, overwhelmed by the sheer volume of prayers. Bruce ingeniously creates a prayer app to manage all prayers digitally. After an overnight batch download, he's shocked to find over 1.5 million prayers. Overwhelmed, he decides to approve them all in one go, clearing the list. However, the system immediately updates with over 3 million new prayers. Bruce opts for a mass approval, thinking this would satisfy everyone's wishes. Bruce's career is thriving, and his colleagues throw a celebration dinner. He invites Grace and remotely uses his powers to assist her with the car keys. However, when a female colleague flirts with Bruce, Grace arrives just in time to witness it and leaves in anger. A disheartened Bruce makes it rain indoors, driving everyone away. God then explains that even with divine powers, one cannot force love, acknowledging the complexity of human emotions. Bruce tries to win Grace back with romantic gestures, but to no avail. Despite his efforts, Bruce can't regain Grace's love. His earlier act of bringing the moon closer has caused tidal problems and natural disasters, leading to widespread chaos. Fulfilling everyone's wishes led to a lottery debacle, where hundreds of thousands win, diluting the prize to a mere $17 each. This sparks massive protests, with the village descending into chaos. Bruce seeks God's help again, realizing the burdens of divinity. Together, they reset everything, restoring peace. God remarks that people often pray for various things without realizing their own potential to fulfill their desires through action. The next day, Bruce apologizes to his colleague, returns the anchor position, and resigns, aspiring to return to his true passion in comedy programming. After returning home, Bruce opens the prayer app and searches for Grace's name, only to discover that all of her prayers were about him, filled with encouragement and sweet love. Just then, Grace sends a new prayer, wishing to forget Bruce and move on from her sorrow. Seeing this prayer leaves Bruce completely stunned. In the pouring rain, he prays to God, confessing he only wishes to lead a normal life and desires Grace's return, lamenting that being God is not as great as it seems. Bruce kneels in the middle of the street, expecting God to appear. Waking up, Bruce realizes he's had a near-death experience. God talks with Bruce for a while, asking if he has any final wishes. Bruce expresses his desire for Grace to find happiness and love, even if it's not with him. God is touched by Bruce's selfless prayer for someone else's happiness, not his own desires. With a few pokes, God sends Bruce back to the living world. As the saying goes, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Grace returns to Bruce's side and their life resumes its peaceful rhythm. Bruce continues as a comedy show host, announcing to the camera that he and Grace will soon marry, returning to their normal happy life. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you can watch more videos like this.